Last night I went to the launch of the Catholic Worship Book 2. As well as going to it, I've spent a few hours this morning going through the book and having a look at it and trying to weigh up what I think about it. Basically, my conclusion is that it's an excellent resource and would be very good for Catholic schools and parishes to have this book. The weight of this one is 1,190 grams, so it's quite a substantial book. It's even heavier than the Worship 4 book, very similar in size and shape to GIA's Worship 4 book, which they have in the United States. One of the main disappointments for me about Catholic Worship Book is it doesn't have the responsorial psalms, whereas the book that it's replacing, Catholic Worship Book, weighs 614 grams, getting close to half the weight, and does have a responsorial psalm for every Sunday, and so does the GIA Worship 4 book. I noticed a couple of sort of typo type sort of errors. In number 336, you have the Litany of the Saints, and there's a missing rubric that's in the Roman Missal on page 407. Basically, there's a line that you sing if there are people being baptised, and another line that you sing if there aren't people being baptised, and that rubric has been left out of the Catholic Worship Book too. Sometimes I think the book has got too many options, and I'm particularly uncomfortable when you have something in an official liturgical book, such as the lectionary, and then you get different options in the hymn book. So, for example, in the lectionary that we use at the moment for the Corpus Christi, Solemnity of the Body and Blood of Christ, you have a sequence there. Sing forth, O Zion, sweetly sing the praises of thy shepherd king. 3 sequences in this book, but not including the one that's in the actual lectionary. Another thing on sequences is you have sort of rubric type information in this book. The sequence is sung before the Alleluia on Easter Sunday and Pentecost Sunday, and may also be sung on Corpus Christi Sunday. So I guess I'm saying there are sort of rubric type bits of information in here that may not be 100% correct. I guess along similar lines, like I have this sort of liturgical and musical priorities page on the page before, Roman numerals 23, and they're saying they sort of have in bold the ones that should be sung, and it's got in bold post-communion hymn, and then not in bold is the communion hymn, and I don't get it, don't see a basis for saying it's more important to have a post-communion hymn than it is to have a communion hymn. For number, it's got 174, where it's got it's got the invitatory psalm. Yeah, it's using the Grail Psalm, which is the version of the Psalms in the approved liturgical book. And then on the opposite page, it's got 175 and another invitatory psalm, which is a 1912 translation. And so, yeah, again, I don't see the point. you've got an approved liturgical book with a particular translation that's been approved by the Vatican. Why throw in another option